You get a lot more on that one. No, less than one there right away.
Is that yours?
Yeah, it's mine.
Okay.
So you already got that one.
It's starting. So it's been a minute since we've been on together. I know you've done a few by yourself, right?
Yeah, I've done a couple lives by myself. Thank you, Barb. Dude, what up? All right, what's up, already? I see you on the TikTok. I'm on the TikTok and the Instagram and also the YouTube. So just man, Duke, it's been a long time, bro. I don't know. You still right here in Ontario? Hello, Caroline on YouTube.
So we're on all platforms right now. Um,
Yeah, I've been home for like 3 weeks now. Yesterday was three. No, Wednesday was 3 weeks, and so but it's been a rough 3 weeks. That's why I haven't been doing nothing. What up, Doug? How you doing, man? I sent you a message earlier. I don't know if you saw it, but yeah, yeah, I love you too, Duke. Um, I was over by your house yesterday. Matter of fact, right there in downtown, and at the barber shop, right there by Gloria's. Um, but yeah, I've been home for 3 weeks now, and it's been a rough 3 weeks. But finally, I'm starting to be able to eat again. So I mean, that's a good thing that I can eat again. But I still use a feeding tube. But I'm only eating like very little food. Most of my nutrition comes from the feeding tube, and like I explained to some people yesterday, because I still got maybe I might have surgery in a couple in one maybe a month or so. If they're gonna do it, I don't know. But if that happens, then I'll need the feeding tube for at least 3 months. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough trying to get back together again, and with all the pain that I got to go through every day. So I haven't been doing nothing. I haven't been doing no videos. It's just a couple of live videos. I did one yesterday. Other than that, I haven't been out and about. I haven't seen nobody really. A couple of people have stopped by here, uh, but I just kind of been trying to recover from the radiation. Hopefully, within a couple more weeks, I'll be, as far as the radiation recovery, maybe, uh, like 90%, 95%. Hopefully, I won't have all the pain that I'm dealing with. I can't see that far, whatever's being said over there.
thank you. It's I really do appreciate all the prayers and support that we do get as individually and as a couple. Um, it has been the last treatment that he was on was pretty difficult. It was really hard to watch, and um, it was they said it was going to be hard, so we anticipated it, but it was really difficult to watch. There's really nothing I can do but just kind of stand by him and let him know, I'm not going anywhere. Um, because I know he's talked about it before. You have this, like, there's a part of it that I have guilt that there's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing I can do to take the pain away. There's nothing I can do to make it better. There's nothing. There's nothing I can do but just kind of stand here next to you and sit next to you and lay down next to you. You know, um, I have that type of guilt. I don't know if you have any that you feel or what you feel, but it was just super hard to watch him go through the radiation chemotherapy, and I still have to go to work. So he was doing radiation every day, and he would go to these appointments by himself. I go to the appointments that give us results, because he just tells me, you got to go to work. So I'm it's really hard to know. Like I'd always look at my clock, at my watch, and be like, okay, I know he's at radiation, getting his treatments, and then I come home and he's in bed, hooked up to his machines, because he's been solely dependent on the feeding tube for how long now? Months.
No, since I was in the hospital. When I was in the hospital, they put it. So it's been like over 3 weeks.
And I do appreciate everybody kind of, I've had people, send me messages saying, I'd like to, get you guys out. I pay for dinner for you guys to go out. That's a great gesture, and I truly appreciate it. And it's beautiful coming from people that I know and I don't know. But like I've been telling them, he can't eat anything, not by mouth right now.
No, I can eat, but not. I can eat. I eat.
He started a couple days ago, started eating some foods. But prior to that, he couldn't eat anything.
Yeah, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat food, but I'm little by little eating here and there, a little bit of food here and there. I started off eating like pudding and Jello and shit like that. Soft foods that would go down a lot easier without tearing up the inside of my throat. But I mean, I could eat. I just can't eat a lot. I can eat, I'll start to get sick if I eat too much. So I think my body's got to get used to the regular food again. But I'm getting used to it. It'll take some time for me to be back to eating like I was before. But if I have to have surgery within the next couple months, it's going to set me back again. You know what I mean? So I went down to, I think it was like 180 pounds. Right now, I think I'm at like 195. I'll gain weight because I'm starting to eat food again. But if they do surgery, that's where I think I'll get to my lowest. I'll probably end up going way lower than 180, because the fact that I won't be able to eat at all anymore. After that, if I have surgery, I won't be able to eat nothing at all. My normal weight, I used to be fat, so I don't know. I don't even know what a normal weight would be I'm 6'5", so there's a question that somebody asked me on YouTube, but I'm 6'5", so the doctors and all that shit, they'll tell you your body mass index, what BMI should be, this and this and that. They told me a long time ago at 6'5", I should be like 190 pounds, I think, which I'm 195 right now. So I'm around that range. That's what they say. But if I take my shirt off, you'll see that I'm really skinny under this shirt. This is the big shirt, it's the 2X, because I used to wear 2X shirts. So I don't know what my normal, maybe I would say for me, feeling comfortable, I'd be like around 220, 225. But I was at one time, I was almost like I was at 360. But that was years ago.
But before chemo, I think you and I both had gained some weight.
Oh yeah, we did. I was at 260, I think 250.
You were at 260. 255.
Before I got diagnosed with cancer, I was at 260. So I went from 260 to 180.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, 80, fuck, is that 85 pounds?
It was 60 pounds that you had lost.
No, because I went down to 180. My lowest point went to 180. So, but now I'm starting to eat a little bit. I'm gaining a little bit of weight back. I'm like at 195, I think, right now. Probably would gain a little bit more weight, but I only have a few weeks. If they decide to do surgery, everything is going to go like, if they say, okay, you can do surgery, they're going to try to, that ball's going to start rolling right away. They're not going to sit down and wait, because they control the cancer enough. But they say, okay, you can have surgery. You can't sit down and just wait, a month or so, because then the cancer can start spreading again. So it's like they controlled it. If they can do the surgery, then they're going to do it. And then it'll be done like right away, because they already told me that they want me to, I got to go see the doctor next week. I don't know what the fuck that's doing. But they told me last week, or the last time I talked to the doctor, when I go when I go see him next week that I have to um,
Mm.
go see a surgeon. They want to send me up to go see a surgeon. So I don't know. But yeah, that I don't know what the normal weight for me would be. I've always fluctuated, my whole life. Always fat, thin. I was
Where you're supposed to be at.
yeah.
Irving's on here.
What a bourbon. Yeah. So what?
He likes to.
Oh, this fucking guy. But yeah. So besides all that shit, there was a couple of subjects that we had talked about.
No.
Talking about on here, and one of them was like sometimes she'll get messages from people on Instagram. Well, one of the things there's two of them. Max. They're both on Instagram. But I talked about it myself in a video by myself, not with her. But it was about women that know me from the past that will just come out of the woodwork and message her on Instagram or TikTok, wherever they're doing it. And instead of saying, coming, because my Instagram is open, you can message me, you can see everything. But they'll come on hers and message her and say, "Oh, I know Mike," and all that shit. They don't say how they know me. They just say, "Oh, I'm a friend of his," or whatever. And
But then I'll ask them, well, how do you know him? Like, how do you know him? And they just won't say anything. So that was a subject that somebody had brought up, and I don't know. I guess if you guys want to ask questions about it, that's kind of to me. It's weird. I would never text a female or a message a female of a guy that I used to be with. Like I just wouldn't do that. To me, it's weird, and I don't know. I've been feeling lately like people are kind of weird. The types of messages that I've been getting from guys, even.
that was the other thing. It's the messages from. It's not just guys though. You don't know. That's why I tell her, because she gets like random messages from people. They don't have a picture, or they'll have some bullshit background, and then they'll, when you look at their page, they're usually private, but they won't have no posts. They won't have no mutual friends. None of that shit, or they don't have no followers. Nothing. And so I told her, watch what you say, because the way that people are nowadays, well, I can say especially women, but everybody's like, I don't do it. I don't do that shit. But everybody wants to, like, they'll try to get at her, say shit to her, to me, to see if they can get her to bite. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to run game to see if they can get her to bite. And that way they can screenshot that shit and be like, oh, look, he's always saying how great his wife is, but yeah, she's over here in these DMs responding to this shit. You see what I mean? It happens a lot. It's been happening a lot lately.
It's been happening a lot more lately, and to me, it's weird because if you guys go on to my social media page, you'll see my whole page is really just him and I together talking about this cancer journey that that I'm supporting him in, but we're both in, and my kids, and my close friends that we hang out with. That's all it really is. And it's like all of a sudden, literally, like in the past maybe 5 months, it's steadily getting more and more and more. Men are hitting me up saying things, and it's like, what the hell? Like, trying to get at me,
What up, Louis?
talking about like, oh, just comments, trying to get, if I can engage in conversation.
Yeah, because
And it's like if you don't know by now, him and I will read them together. I'm like, oh my god, look at this message that I just got. I actually got one from somebody that left me a message this long, and saying, oh, I'll probably get blocked after this, but blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking, do guys really just send messages, or without looking at someone's profile, or do they look at the profile and just give zero fucks?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know who I was talking to the other day about that situation, but I was just like, me, I don't give a fuck. I don't get mad. I don't give a shit, dude. You know what I mean? That's what guys are gonna do. I don't give a fuck about what some dude's doing. You know what I mean? That's my wife. You know what I mean? If she fucks around on me, it's on her, not on him. You know what I mean? And I see things that way because, I was like that a lot. I used to fuck around with nothing but married women for a long time, for years, because it's so much easier to fuck around with a married woman because I ain't got to do shit for her. All I got to do is hang around with her once in a while when she wants to hang around sometimes. You know what I mean? She gets tired of her husband for the day, here I come, and I'll hang out with her and I'll, do whatever.
And you've done videos on this.
Yeah, and I've talked about this shit, but and I've had dudes, husbands, message me when they end up finding out, whatever, however they found out through their wives or whatever, about me, and then they'll call me and be, hey, what's up, man? You're fucking around with my wife. Hey, look, what are you calling me for? You look stupid calling me. I'm not your wife. I'm not married to you. You talk to your wife. I'm a man, and I'm gonna be a man, and I'm gonna do what a man does. If your wife is allowing me to do that, then that's what I'm gonna do. Obviously, you ain't got control over your wife. You know what I mean? So you need to talk to your wife and you need to straighten that shit out with your wife. But don't call me about what your wife's doing. I'm not married to you. You know what I mean? And then I would tell them, then the woman, like, hey, you know what, man? Now that your man's you spilled the beans or whatever you've done, I'm done with you. That's it. Leave me alone now. You know what I mean? I don't need your man calling me and crying on the phone about you and his marriage and shit. And I don't want to hear it. I don't need him explaining shit to me about anything. You know what I mean? But so I don't blame these dudes for doing it, but in my eyes, it's not.
Don't you think it's disrespectful? Because when I get those messages, I feel disrespected.
Do I feel disrespected?
No, don't you feel it's disrespectful though? Don't you feel it's disrespectful?
No, because I don't look at it the way you're looking at it.
I look at it as very disrespectful.
But you don't know that they're dudes. You see nothing. It's a blank thing. Every once in a while, you might get one with a dude's picture on it, but the other ones are like some forest background or there's no background, so you don't know who's doing it. Like I said, those ones right there, I think that's people that know you and know me, or most likely know me, and they're trying to get you caught up because you know what? A lot of people want to see other people fucking fail. Other people that are miserable in their marriages or in their relationships or have had miserable relationships don't want to see other people happy. And so it's like, oh, he's always giving props to his wife, or she's always up there like she's high and mighty and she takes care of her husband who has cancer and all this shit like that. Well, let me go over there and fuck. It could be a chick. Let me go in there and try to see what I can do and make a fake profile and try to get you to fucking bite. And then here you are. As soon as they get it, okay, boom, throw that shit on here. Let me send this to him. Oh, your wife ain't all that you think she is, or you ain't all that you're portraying yourself to be. With you got your husband's back and all that bullshit. Because here, I got the shit right here. You're communicating with me. So that's what I look at it. Why would a dude hide his pictures?
So Diggler, he put, or they're just bots. No, it's not just bots.
It's not just bots. There's there's
whole conversation, like
a whole paragraph.
Whole paragraphs coming at me. Or like they'll say things like
she told one the other day, she said, oh,
I straight out told them I'm married.
And he said, well, we can still be friends. It's like block. And that's what I was talking to. I don't know if it was my brother or who I was talking to, but or my homie, I don't know, but I was talking to somebody that says, man, these motherfuckers ain't got no game. You know what I mean? I wish that I could fucking, sometimes when she showed me this shit, I want to send a message to them and be like, look, man, if you're going to do this kind of shit, I don't give a fuck that you're trying to do it with my wife. She ain't falling for your shit. But if you're going to do it, here's how to do it. Because what you're doing don't work. That stupid shit you do don't work. You know what I mean? These guys have...
it could work, but not with me. No. It could work on maybe someone else.
No, it could work on some simple bitch. But I've done that shit so many times. So I know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It's up to a man is going to go as far as that woman lets him do. So don't be mad at the man. I don't give a fuck what some dude's doing. You know what I mean? That's on him. You know what I mean? But I to me it's funny. I see this shit and
We
I
do
laugh.
laugh.
I laugh at it like this fucking guy. Like you have no game. If you had any kind of game, you have some kind of fucking patience, but you don't have no patience. You know what I mean? You rush in there like hey, with some big fucking conversation right off the bat, and I hope that you don't block me and blah 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 blah. And it's it is some stupid simp shit. Instead, it's easy. It's easy. If you want to do that kind of shit, motherfucker, hey, go on there and just say some simple shit on one of her pictures, and that's it. Leave it alone. Not her. I'm saying on a woman. If you're trying to get on some married woman and shit like that, or some woman that has a boyfriend and shit, you go on there and you do it simple, and you take and you wait and you wait and you wait. The shit's like fucking fishing. But these guys, they think that they try to throw some game like right away. It's like that shit don't work. I see it every time. I see it. You know what I mean? And it's but I mean I don't care. I mean it's funny to me. I don't get those kind of messages. You know what I mean? Women don't be messaging me and shit.
No, they've been messaging me.
Oh, they
So
message
that's
her,
so
not
that's
me.
that's another thing that's been happening. So if you guys listen to his stories, he's been very open and honest about his past and the dog that he was. But and I know all his stories. I know if you females are out there, and I know who he's been with, who he's messed around with,
Oh,
who
that's
he's had.
before she's finished it. Just know that if I've ever fucked around with you, I don't follow you, but I ever fucked around with you, she knows about it. Not one of you guys is a secret. Not one of you guys is a fucking secret. So don't think that you're getting over if you ever see, because there's maybe a couple people that have seen me and her together. You know what I mean? And we're mutual friends with other people. So they've been around and shit, and they might think they got some little secret, like, oh yeah, I know him. I fucked around with him before. She knows. Believe me, if I fucked around with you, I would tell her like, oh hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. What I didn't know that person would be here, but I fucked around with her a long time ago, years ago. So that way there ain't no secret. She can't come out later on like act like she had some kind of big ass secret. There is no secret. She knows about it. If you've ever been around me, she knows about it. You ain't got no fucking secret. You know what I mean? So that's that. But whatever, you finish what you were saying.
So what recently happened, and it's been happening, is and he actually did a video on it. He used to fuck around with this girl for years. She was like a side chick for years, off and on, many years ago, off and on. And maybe when he just got his cancer diagnosis, she called once and just to like say hey, how are you doing? But she didn't know he had cancer first. Not the first
one.
I
didn't have cancer yet.
Yeah, you did, but she didn't bring it up.
No, I didn't have cancer yet. That was my first story out today.
So then he told her, well, I'm married, so he blocked her. No, so he told her, hey, I'm married. There's no need for us to that's good. You're doing good. Blah, blah, blah. I'm married now. There's no need for us to communicate. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, I guess she stalks, obviously, because I'll tell you why right now. She calls him again and says, hey, I heard someone told me that you have cancer, and I just wanted to see how you're doing, and blah, blah, blah. But he had told me she had the conversation that they had the first time. And I was like, that happens, if she hasn't talked to you in years. But the second time he told her again, thank you. I appreciate it, but there's really no need for you to check up on me. Cause she said, okay, well, I'll check up on you. And if you need anyone to talk to, that's another thing a lot of females are doing right now, or they did in the very beginning, was if you need anyone to talk to, you can come and I'm here for you. Well, he has a wife. Why is he going to talk to you? So, and then we have mutual friends, and those females know, I know who they are, who are going through cancer themselves. Like, I don't have problems. I know them personally. They're my friends too, that he can talk to as well. So he told her, there's no need for us to talk. I already told you I'm married. You don't have to call me. So at that point, he blocked her. So he told me about it, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, I know exactly what she's trying to do, right? So fast forward, this was a while ago, maybe a year ago or something. Fast forward, he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital the week that he was in the hospital, and I'm sitting there and he's sleeping, going through pain on these meds. When he was in the hospital, I was there every day for you. Anybody who went, they knew I was there every day, from visiting hours open to visiting hours closed. I was there at the hospital. They got to know me in the cafeteria. But I get a message saying so and so requested to follow you. Well, my social media is public. You don't have to follow me to look at my stuff. But she really requested to follow me. And I immediately got boiling mad. And I was mad because I'm like, what the hell is this girl doing? And this is after other females had sent me messages of like, hey, I've known Mike, tell him that I've known him for, many years ago. Mike, I'm support, love, prayers sent your way, blah, 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 whatever. So I messaged her and I said, hey, basically in a nutshell was like, hey, I find it really weird that you're requested to follow me and you're following me after my husband told you to stay away from not only him, but respect our marriage and our boundaries. I know who you are. I know what you were. I know you were a side chick for many years. So you just need to stay in the past and stay in your lane and know your role. I know you're married, so I don't want problems, and I think you don't want problems yourself.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I didn't understand that shit. Well, I can't say I don't understand because I was dealing with her for a long time, for years, way before I met my wife. This was like in 2007. I started dealing with this chick, and she was married. You know what I mean? She was married at the time, and I was not married. I was single at the time when I met her, and I started fucking around with her and shit like that. And her husband found out, and whatever. But the thing is that I was never her boyfriend. I was just somebody that would see her whenever, and she was always around me, and but back then, when the first time I stopped talking to her, I got into a relationship with somebody else, which was my second wife. I told that chick, and this is my fault. I told her, if I ever call you or if I ever get in contact with you, no matter who you're with, no matter who that I'm with, you always got to come back if I call you. If you look for me, I'll be right there. You can get a hold of me. And it was like that. When I was with my ex-wife, she would contact me. I got caught fucking around on my ex-wife with her. Then there was other times where during that time afterwards that I would contact her and shit like that. So that was my fault for saying that. I don't feel that way no more. I'm talking about this is back then. So I think that maybe she still believes that. Like, okay, let me get a hold of him because he said he would always come back and see me whenever I wanted to see him again. But that was my old way of thinking. That was when I was always constantly fucking around. You know what I mean? Like I've said it before. There's the only relationship except one before this with my son's mother years ago. But this is like the second relationship I ever been in that I wasn't fucking around. I was always fucking around. You know what I mean? And so I think she knew that because I would fuck around my ex-wife with her. You know what I mean? And so she probably still believed in that. But I had told her already twice when she had called me, like, hey, there's no need for you to do this. I'm all right. I'm married now. That's it. Okay, cool. And then she did it again. So then I had to block her from my phone because she had my number, so I blocked her. And I can block her number all day long. She can call me from another phone. It doesn't matter. But I just blocked her from my phone so she couldn't call me no more. And then the reason why I think she went through her was it what was the reason? There was a reason why.
Because you had
made
put
my
your
I made my
Instagram private.
Instagram private, and then all of a sudden, boom, she hits her up like a day or two later, because I know she was watching the Instagram. That's how she knew everything was going on. She didn't have no fucking mutual friend that told her anything. She was on it. She would follow me on Instagram and see what's going on. And then when I put there was a reason why I put my Instagram private for a couple of days. Had nothing to do with her. And so once I did that, that's like the next day or whatever, she went to her shit and was like, oh, I know Mike and blah blah blah. And that's when she told her all that shit. Like, I know who you are. You know what I mean? So, but it's just she's not the only one that's done it. You know, she's not the only one that's done that shit.
So I find it weird. Like, it's weird to me. I would never do that. I just wouldn't do that. Yeah, we all have a past. All of us, all of you guys have a past. You know, you've been with women, you've been with men, you've, done this, done that. But I would never, ever think of reaching out to to a guy that I used to be with, message his now wife or lady or whatever, and be like, hey, I see what he's going through. I'm an old friend of his. Like, why would I do that? Knowing that it's so disrespectful to her. Maybe she knows about me, maybe she doesn't. But either way, I know who I was. Why would I? It's just so disrespectful. It's just so, and I find it so weird. Maybe because I'm not wired that way, so I find it really strange and weird. But I mean, I think I was really pissed because he's in the hospital bed and I'm waking up, hardly sleeping, not eating anything, lack of sleep, getting up, making sure I'm at the hospital when he wakes up, trying to get there as early as I possibly can. And then here's, these snakes coming out, under the guise of, prayers and positive and, let us know if you need anything. And I'm like, bitch, I know who you are. You guys, people who know me know I'm not like that. I don't fight. I don't cause problems. I don't, I'm just not like that. I'm not that type of a person. I never have and never was. And I just feel like it doesn't make me weak. I'm just a really kind-hearted person. But if you push me, don't go there with me. Just don't go there with me. I find it very disrespectful for both men and women to do what they're doing.
Yes, it's just, I mean, dudes that hit her
exactly. Now that we're older, you'd think you would develop some sort of class. And to me, it's weird that men are sliding into my DMs knowing what I'm going through. And it's like, what? Like, my husband's not dead. He's right here. I think I even told someone that. I said, my husband's not dead.
Yeah, that to me is funny because I think about that shit. I think about there's people out there, well, there's dudes out there that probably know me. They might not be like.
I'll answer your question right now.
They might not be like close friends with me. They just know who I am. That are waiting for me to fucking die, just so they can see what they can do. I know that's how scandalous motherfuckers are nowadays. That's the way that dudes are. You know what I mean? And there's also women out there that if I was to try to get at them, I know that I could, for the simple fact that they just want a reason to be able to tell her, like, yeah, you're not all that like you think you are, or you're not that good wife that he thinks you are. You know what I mean? Because he's over here fucking around with me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know how the games go. I played it for so many years. You know what I mean? So I see through all the bullshit that men and women do nowadays. You know what I mean? Like I said, these dudes ain't got no game anyway. With the way they try to do it, I laugh at it like, man, you ain't got no game, dude. If you want to learn something, hit me up. Hit me up in my fucking DM, and I'll tell you. If you want to go fuck around with some married woman, you want to fuck around with some girl that has a boyfriend, I'll tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? It's not impossible. You know what I mean? If you want to do it, I can show you how to do it, because the shit you're doing is weak.
So when I told her who she was and I knew everything about her, I was gonna even dig real. I was gonna cut deep with her, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. Keep it. I'm gonna keep it to me. I'm not gonna let my emotion dig ugly. I didn't want to go there. I was already going through a lot with him in the hospital. So I said what I said. I told her, I know everything about you. I know who you were. I know what you were about. I know all the years of everything that happened. And she tried to come at me that she was a Christian now, and she actually, was praying for us, and that you know um, God has forgiven her for her past, and she knows that she's made lots of mistakes. She just threw God into it, which was in it. That alone was weird to me as well. Um, I have my own relationship with God. Everybody knows that he's an atheist. But I have a relationship with God, and I took offense to that as well. Like, don't throw God into this mix. Like, you you're trying to, now she's just trying to make excuses, right? So she tried to go at that. She tried to do that with me, try to say, oh, well, she's a changed woman, and she did, she's not proud of her past. And I said, so does your husband know that you've been trying to reach out to someone that you used to have sex with for years and cheated on with? And she said, absolutely, my husband knows, which I don't think he does.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because it's not the same dude that she was with when I was fucking around with her. And so,
So she kind of just like, she's like, well, she kept calling me ma'am.
yeah, Del Toro, you're right. I mean, it is, I mean, I went through it myself after all that shit.
Yeah.
I was married, my last marriage. And yeah, I mean, karma's a motherfucker. It comes back to you. And it came back and it got me too. You know what I mean? So, that's why I don't be doing shit like that. That's why I stopped doing shit like that. You know what I mean? I would.
Karma's real.
Yeah, it's real. You know what I mean? We all have to deal with it. You know what I mean? So I did it, and I know how it felt to be on the other end of that shit. You know what I mean? And so I said, I can't do that shit no more. You know what I mean? So I stopped doing that. But hey, in this day and age, people are fucking everybody. You know what I mean? That
social media made it so
social
easy.
media made it so easy for you to do. Well, the thing is, though, yeah, social media made things easy, but at the same time, like I tell her, everything that you say, I don't give a shit if it's. I'm not talking about just these whole things with these people trying to contact her, with her own friends, family, anybody. Watch what you say in a text message, because there are people out there that will just, you say something wrong, they save your messages and they keep them. And if anything was to ever happen, if you ever got on their fucking bad side, they're gonna bring that shit out. And they'll throw it on social media. I see people doing that shit on Instagram all the time. They'll throw a fucking message that, that somebody they were with, or ex-friend of theirs or whatever. They'll start, or this person was talking shit about you. Here's the messages. You know what I mean? Because they're no longer friends with that person no more. Now all of a sudden they come to you. Oh, look at these messages I got. This is from a while back. He was, or she was talking shit about you. You know what I mean? Because now they're looking for a cheerleader, because they're no longer friends or in a relationship with that person. You see what I mean? And so I always tell her, watch everything. I don't give a fuck if it's your brother, sister, it don't matter. Watch what the fuck you say, because one day you might not be talking to that person no more. And that person's gonna throw all your shit out there, because that's all people do. You see it all the time. They screenshot shit, they videos recording the screen shit, they do that kind of shit. I see it on fucking YouTube every day. People doing that on YouTube, posting shit on YouTube, talking shit about one another. You know what I mean? And it's like, why don't you watch what the fuck you're saying in messages? You know what I mean? Or on the phone, whatever, because people are recording your shit. I don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? If I really have a problem with somebody, I'll go to you. I'm not gonna be fucking texting you or calling you and all that shit so people can record shit. Fuck that. I don't do all that kid shit. You know what I mean? But so I tell her. So it's easy, yes, it's easy to fuck around. but you better watch what you're doing because there's people out there that are recording your shit and they're fucking saving all your messages just in case.
I feel like it's easier to get caught nowadays.
It is
too.
way easier to get caught nowadays. It's way easier to get caught nowadays.
Well, when him and I got together, we sat down and laid it all out on the table. You know, we were open books. We said, this is what I did in my past relationships. We were very transparent. And I really feel like, even though for those of you that have, you know, cheated or, you know, multiple women at the same time or multiple men at the same time, you know, we all grow, you know, our we hope that, you know, we grow and evolve and learn from our mistakes. And you know, when you want to be in a serious relationship, when you meet that person, you say, you know, this is the one that I'm going to change for. You know, I'm getting older. We're too old. You know, I'm 50. You're going to turn 50 next week. So it's kind of like, we're too old for that shit. I don't want to start over again. You know, when we met each other, we instantly connected. It was an immediate attraction. And it was like, okay, I want this forever. You know, he gave me what I was looking for. I gave him what he was looking for. And why would we fuck it up? You know, to start over and do this whole thing all over again with someone else. And it's a roll of the dice. You know, I still believe in that old school relationship, that old school love. And so did he. A lot of people don't do it.
Yeah, no, Cisco. That's behind that chair. That's behind the bar, just sitting on one of the bar stools. But yeah, that's my favorite chair. That one that you gave me, bro. I love that chair. Nobody else gets to sit on that shit over here. But yeah, you know, so I just, you know, these things that happen lately. Everybody knows on her Instagram and all that shit what I'm going through. But yet there's still people out there who see what they can do. And like I said, I think it's mainly people that are just trying to screenshot shit just so they can get her caught up in something. You know what I mean? And I mean, shit, keep doing what you're doing. It's funny to me. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not worried
it's
about
our nighttime reading.
Yeah, and it's like me. I don't worry about all that shit. You know, there's a lot of dudes out there. They're, you know, they're what do you call it? Like insecure with themselves. You know what I mean? I used to be that way too, but you know, I'm not insecure of myself and shit. You know, I don't. You know, I can survive on my own if I had to. I mean, I'm not worried about all that shit. You know, so I mean, keep on trying. It's fucking entertaining to me. And the same thing to the women, you know, that do the same shit, that are from my past, that try to come and message her instead of messaging me. I don't know why the fuck you message her. My shit's open. You know, you can message me, but I'm gonna tell you the same shit. Like, hey, thank you, I appreciate it, but you know, I don't need you over here trying to fuck my shit up because
just because he's sick doesn't give anybody, it doesn't change our marriage just because he's sick. Like it doesn't give females the right to, you know, send messages and say, hey, if you need anything, I'm here for you, or I'll cook for you. My cousin Erica told me that one the other day. Or I'll cook for you. You know, or men to slide into my DMs and tell me, you know, hey, hey, beautiful, you know, praying for your husband and you. It's
oh yeah, because there was one chick that on one of my
so
pictures.
weird.
And she's a rapper chick. She's a rapper slash fucking Instagrammer type chick, you know. And she had posted on one of my pictures, "Hey, if you need anybody to talk to, you can hit me up and shit." And I'm just like, my wife's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I seen it, and I was like, I don't even know who the fuck that person is. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she was like something like, "Hey, my friend, if you want somebody to talk to, go ahead and hit me up, you know, and you know, you can always talk to me and this and this." And I'm like, man, I don't even know who the fuck she. I mean, I know who she is from Instagram. You know what I mean? Because she's always showing her big ass titties on Instagram. But I don't fucking know her. You know, I never met her in my life. And I just, to me, it was just funny that she said she put it out there like straight on the picture. She didn't message that shit to me. She put it on one of my pictures and shit. So, hey, what's up, Gabe? Yeah, hey, maybe next weekend, man. You can swing by here if you ain't doing shit. Jacob. I'm eating little bit at a time right now. I can eat a little bit at a time. I just gotta take my time when doing it because if I eat too fast, then
He'll
I'll throw
throw
up.
up. Hmm.
So I was eating yesterday, and I kind of no, not yesterday, day before yesterday, and I ate a little too fast right away, and it made me throw up. And I throwing up will fuck me up even more because my whole throat is trying to heal, and you don't want to be throwing up. It starts it'll cause more pain in the evening time, being even more pain because I had to throw up, because I was eating too fast. So yeah, no, I am eating, but very little at a time until my throat is completely healed. Yeah, cause give me another week, and then you guys can come, you and QD come over here and hang out. You know what I mean? I'm still dealing with a little bit of pain and shit, so I haven't been doing nothing. Really, ain't had nobody over here.
I do have to say something. I do appreciate all the prayers and the support that is being sent. There are men that'll say, hey, I'm praying for you and Big Mike, or that's, to me, that's respectful. I get it. And I'll show him, and I'll reply back, thank you. But I'm talking about the other type. We know what type they are. There's a very quick line. It's a very thin line that you can easily cross, right? People are sneaky, and you just don't go there. um, there is there is something that I did notice was, I do appreciate all of the invites that we still get. Even though you all know he can't go, getting the invite, to me, I don't this is something that if you haven't been through cancer, you're not going to understand this. um we don't go out anymore. We went from having very active lives. Every weekend we were gone. Monday through Thursday, it's work. We had, it's a work, it's school night. We don't go out that, during school nights. But come Friday, we were always out. Um, but with cancer, that completely changed everything, right? Our lives completely stopped, but the world around us keeps going. And I just want to say I truly appreciate the friends that we have that still send us invites. Because believe it or not, people had stopped inviting us, or just stopped because, for whatever reason. And I have to say, one thing I learned about cancer is, even though the person is sick and they can't come, just getting that invite means a lot. It means a lot to me. It makes me feel like they haven't forgotten about my husband. They haven't forgot about us. Even though we can't go, just know that those invites mean a lot to us. They mean everything to me. Do you feel the same way? Or I know you really don't care.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the invites. I just, I can't. All right, Cisco, I'll be talking to you.
Bye, sister.
Yeah, I do appreciate being invited and stuff like that. But I'm more like, I understand that everybody's life goes on. You know what I mean? I'm, I'll be forgotten about. Whether I'm here, whether I'm here or I'm not. You know what I mean? If I'm not communicating with other people that much, well, then yeah, I'm gonna be, people are gonna stop inviting because I'm gonna be forgotten about. Like, oh, he doesn't come around, so people forget about me. But all right, Cisco, I appreciate it. See what the next package is. But yeah, you're gonna be forgotten about. You know what I mean? If I'm not out there communicating with everybody else, then of course I wouldn't. I don't feel um, upset that other people have forgotten about, not forgotten about me, but just have kind of like, I'm off to the side now because I don't do nothing. I'm not out there riding. I'm not out there partying and shit like that. Um, and so, it's not that I don't give a shit. It's just, it is what it is.
So yeah, that's something that I noticed, and I think it's a learning. Something that I learned in this journey is, I would never stop inviting somebody, even knowing that they're sick. I would be like, hey, I'm thinking about you. This is coming up. If you can make it, or if you can't, I totally understand.
Everything's going all right. Everything's going all right right now. You know what I mean? I won't know nothing else until probably like another 3 weeks to a month. Just because I'm not in the hospital or because you see that I'm getting better as far as, from me coming out of the hospital, doesn't mean that I beat cancer because I didn't. I still have cancer. You know what I mean? Still have stage 4 cancer. It hasn't went away. I just had to go through a couple of procedures in the hospital because I wasn't able to eat no more. So, I had to go through some procedures there, and then I had to do the radiation, and that's what really messed me up. And so now I'm recovering from the radiation. I'm not recovering from like being cured of cancer. No, I'm not cured of cancer. I'm just now I gotta wait until my throat is completely healed up so I can go ahead and get another scan and find out uh, what's the next move. So there's only pretty much two things, and it's either I can get the surgery and be cancer free, or they say no. If with the next scan, like there's no way we can do surgery because again, I'm stage 4 cancer, which means it's already in my bloodstream. So if they're gonna see like, okay, we can do surgery, you'll be 100% cancer free. Then I'll do the surgery. If they say no, you won't be 100% cancer free, we do surgery, then it's just taking chemotherapy until I can't take chemotherapy no more. And that's what it all boils down to. So it's just I'm waiting like the next few weeks. And there's a I mean, my friend Cherry, she had talked about it one time, is when you have cancer and you got scans coming up or you did a scan, it's you're anxious and it's a tough time, but it hasn't been that way for me. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about it. Um, Everybody looks at things differently and everybody takes things differently. For her, that's the way it was. The anxiety and all that shit kicks in. You know what I mean? Because you're wondering what's gonna happen. Me, I don't feel that way. You know what I mean? It is. I don't even know when I'm gonna do the scan. They just said it was gonna be a month to 6 weeks after I finished my radiation, and it's been 3 weeks now since I've been uh, off the radiation. So I'm looking about another. I'll go see my doctor next week. I don't know. Maybe he'll tell me go do a scan, and or maybe he'll say, hey, wait another 2 weeks, and then we'll do a scan.
Esophageal cancer, stage 4 esophageal cancer. So he has a mass, a tumor at the base of his esophagus into the upper stomach area. So him and I have already had these talks and discussions of like he's not going to be doing any more radiation. If they offered it to him, he already declined it.
That's what I said then. You know what I mean? Like because everything changes. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, that shit was rough, but now that I'm getting better, it's like okay, that shit's already done. You know what I mean? That was the roughest thing I ever had to do in my life was deal with that radiation shit. It was painful, constantly in pain. Doing the radiation itself is not painful. You don't feel shit when you're doing it. It's the after effects of it is painful. And so, yeah, once I was down toward the last of it, I was like, fuck, I'm not doing that no more. I won't do it again. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know until you know until they tell me like, hey, you need to do it some more, a little bit more. Maybe I'll say, okay, well then I'll do a little bit more. Or maybe I say, no, I'm not gonna do it no more. It just depends. You know what I mean? Because he could tell me like, okay, you could do a little bit more radiation, and we'll see what's gonna happen. I can't guarantee you nothing because it's still spreading. If that's the case, then why do it? You know what I mean? It's like, why would I do it? If it's still spreading after all the radiation I went through already, then why should I do it? You know what I mean? But if you've controlled it, it hasn't spread no more. And if they want to do a little bit more because they say, let's just do a little bit more. It hasn't spread no more, but we want to kill off some more of the cells. Then that's when I can say, okay, well, fuck it, let's do it. But if it's still spreading, well, then there's no need for me to go do all that shit because I already know it's not gonna help. It ain't helped the first 29 times. Why would it help another 5 or 6 times? So yeah, then I probably say no. I won't. I might do it no more, and just let me go ahead and uh, and deal with what I gotta deal with. Hold on a second. Go ahead.
Okay.
I gotta get the charger of the thing.
So yeah, I mean, he's been getting really tired of the whole thing, obviously. We've had these discussions of like, I guess I just have to come to terms with it. If he decides he's going to stop doing chemotherapy altogether, then I just have to support him in it. I'm not the one going through it. I'm going through it, but I'm not the one that's in constant pain. To be in constant pain all day, every day is horrible. It's depressing. So I've already told him whatever he decides he wants to do, that I would support him in that decision. So we've had those uncomfortable conversations, I guess is what I'm saying. But yeah, we have different platforms going on live right now. So it's esophageal cancer. Actually, somebody messaged me the other day and asked me what his symptoms were. So with esophageal cancer, the symptoms are really tricky because it can feel like acid reflux, just hard to swallow, and it's not in his throat. So esophageal cancer is not throat cancer; it's cancer of the esophagus. So you have your throat, and then you have your esophagus that connects to the upper stomach. So how they were able to find it was through an endoscopy. It's an EGD, and it's a scope that goes down your throat, down your esophagus, into your stomach. But they weren't able to get into his stomach because that's where they found the mass. And they basically told me that same day, the doctor came out and told me that they found the mass and that they were referring me to oncology immediately. So those were the signs, and those were how we found out. But we do appreciate all the support and the love that we get, all the prayers that we receive. Mike has said before, those are all appreciated despite what beliefs you have. It's upside down. Oh, are we upside down over there though?
No comments are, but I can do it.
If you're watching us on Instagram, are we upside down?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
Because the comments are, but
But yeah, they're much appreciated. People, our friends who still, take the time to invite us. You can put something in the back of it. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Our friends that, it was upside down. The friends that, continue to invite us, they mean a lot to me. When you're on the sidelines, watching life go by, your friends, family lives, keep going and moving. That's how life is, and ours is stopped right now. But those simple gestures of, just reaching out, and a phone call, a text, even some of his friends will message me, checking on me too, and it's not in a disrespectful manner. It's much appreciated and sent with love. So it's just checking on him. How is he doing? How are you guys doing? Let us know if you guys need anything. It's really,
still upside down, or is it fixed? Because I put the camera back to where it was.
No, it's fixed.
Look, it's
So cancer's really, really hard. It's hard even in the wife position, in the spouse position, because there's women that have cancer, and I can't imagine how that would be. I don't know how that would be for you to watch me go through that.
I wouldn't want to go through it.
It's really tough, but for the friends that still invite us places, I really do appreciate those. Even if we can't go, we can't go, it's much appreciated. You're not forgotten, type of thing, Um,
Jacob, I think it's 45. I think I put 45 pounds in both. 40 or 45, I can't remember. I think it's 40. Yes, I know it's 40 or 45, but that's with her. I think that 45 when she's on it. I think I'm not sure, between 40 and 45.
so if you guys want to ask us questions, we've been on here for almost an hour now. Let us know what you'd like to hear, what you'd like to ask us, what you'd like the next topic of conversation to be. So today's conversation was kind of funny.
There was something else.
It was weird.
That was something else though that I'm trying to remember what there was another topic thing that I wanted to talk about, or we had talked about. Um, yeah, I think also too, Jacob. That also did depend on what kind of bike you have. Mine is a Softail, so I don't have all the tour back and all the other shit on my bike, like guys that have the full dress bikes and all that stuff like that. They'll run different pressures on theirs. Um,
Upland, California.
like where am I from, or where I live? Big difference. Yeah, no, we live in Upland. But we're both from LA County, but we live in Upland. But we couldn't remember what the fuck it was.
You can't remember the
I'm trying
topic?
to think about it right now.
Someone asked me, we look familiar.
Well, where do you live at? We look familiar, or she looks familiar, or I look
Do
familiar?
you know my boyfriend?
Johnny Moon.
Fresno.
Johnny Moon. I used to live in Fresno. I lived in Fresno. She didn't. I lived in Fresno, but I lived over there when I got out in 1992, I moved to Fresno in 1993, and I came back from Fresno back down south in 96. I came back down here in 96, but I also lived up there for a year when I was 13. I was going to Fresno High School, Bullard High School, and DeWolf and Hamilton. I went to all them high schools out there. But I don't know nobody, Johnny Moon. I don't remember nobody by the name of Johnny Moon. My brother still lives out there, though. But yeah, I don't. No, no, I've never been involved in any motorcycle clubs. Yeah, no, no, I wasn't even riding bikes back when I was living out there.
The little kid across the street. So
Watch that cord. Watch that cord.
I know. Whatever happened to the little kid across the street?
Oh, you know what? I see him every once in a
With
great
his
while.
dad now.
He with his dad though. He's out when I see him. He's out there with his dad, walking the block and shit like that. So it looks like they, whatever was going on over there at that house, maybe they kind of fixed their relationship because at the time that little boy was always by himself. He wasn't with his mother. I never seen his mother and father at all. They lived across the street. I had never seen them. I didn't even know he lived there. But when I did start seeing him, he was outside by himself, and I didn't even know who his mother and father was. And so, but now I see him. When I do see him, he's walking down the street with his dad or checking the mail with his dad and shit. So, but he's not. He don't come out that much. They stay in the house. They really don't come out that much.
I'm wondering if they told him something afterwards.
About what?
I don't know. Because he used to come out all the time. He used to come over here and stop by.
He's the when he was out there, he would see the garage was open, and we'd have music playing. For people that don't know, this is my garage. we call it the barrage, but we'd have the big door open, and we have music playing and shit like that, and people hanging out here, and um, he would come over here, and he lived across the street. Come over here. Nobody ever knew they would never came checked on him and shit like that. I know if it was my kid, and I, and he'll come back home for a while. I would go outside and look for him and be like, oh shit, this dude's over across the street with a bunch of bikers hanging out in the fucking garage with a bunch of bikers. But he would come over here because I give him, have snacks and shit here in my garage for when my friends come over here. So he would swing by here with the neighbor's kid because me and the neighbor are friends. So the neighbor and that little boy were friends. So he would come over here with the neighbor's kid, and he'd get chips and shit like that and soda, whatever, and hang out there and with the neighbor's kid. But they would never check on the dude. I didn't even know who his parents were until one day when shit happened and he ran away from home. But yeah, we don't. They probably did tell him something though, like, hey, because I would see him after that. I saw him one day. He was walking down the street, and I saw him, and I waved at him. I said, hey, how's everything going? And he was like, it's okay, it's good, and he just kept on walking. So I was thinking, well, maybe his dad told him, hey, you can't be hanging out over there, which is that's fine. I mean, I would I'd probably say the same thing. You know what I mean?
He looks exactly like his dad too.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. He was my kid. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, you can't be over there. Them guys over there hanging out, drinking and shit. Like, it wasn't like we were trying to influence the little kid to drink and shit. He was my neighbor's kid's friend. So he would be over here with him. And so, yeah, they kind of like keep that kid in the house now, and whenever he's out there with his dad. So that's good.
Throwing a ball around.
Yeah, throwing a ball around and shit
Yeah.
like that. So it's good. Maybe that him running away and all that shit like that. Maybe the dad, the mom, and them learned the lesson and decided to actually give the kid some attention.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a
Thank
minute. You know how it goes. You know how it goes with whatever with all things that John's going through. You know, it was rough. It was rough the last. It's been shit. I would say the last month and a half. Starting the radiation, all that shit, and then the after effects of the radiation. I don't have to tell you. You know what John's going through. And so yeah, it's been rough, but little by little I'm getting better. I'm not out and about like John be doing and shit. I don't. Sometimes I just wonder how the fuck John can do it. You know what I mean? Because it's rough, but hopefully everything is. I haven't talked to him lately, but hopefully everything's going good with John. I do need to get a hold of him and find out what's the scoop on what's going on with him over there. So anyway, yeah, I'll be turning 50 on Wednesday. For me, that's for everybody, turning 50 years old is like
it's a milestone.
It's a milestone, but when you're turning 50 years old, dealing with the shit that I'm dealing with, it's a little bit more.
It's meaningful.
Yeah, a little more meaningful than just turning 50 years
We
old.
wanted to throw a big party, but he just wasn't. That's the first time. He throws a big party every year for his birthday, but it's okay.
Yeah,
we'll throw a big party when the shit's over.
Yeah, I was supposed to we were gonna go have dinner tonight. Just me and her, maybe invite a couple friends, but I just don't feel like. I don't know. I just feel tired and shit. My chest hurts, and so I was like, nah, I don't want to do shit. So I'll find something here to eat, or I don't know. But I don't feel like doing nothing. I'd rather be here just watching TV. Yeah, I kind of get used to being at home. You know what I mean? It's kind of nice, because before I was constantly gone, constantly out and about doing things, and never home on the weekends. And now, dealing with this shit, I'm always here, and so I'm kind of used to it now.
You slow down.
Yeah, I don't really I don't really give a shit about being out and about everywhere and all that shit no more. I like being at home. It's just safer here, man. There's too many dumbasses out there anyway. And me, no matter what I'm going through, you know, if somebody's gonna be trying to challenge me to shit,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if I got cancer. I don't care if I'm in pain. You know, if you're gonna act stupid with me, then I'm willing to fucking go there with you. And I shouldn't be. I shouldn't, but it is what it is. But anyways, been on here long enough. So, and yeah, it's been over an hour already. So I'm gonna get off here and figure out what the hell fuck I'm gonna do for dinner.
So again, appreciate all you guys, taking the time to ask questions, words of support, encouragement. They're all truly appreciated. Just don't slide into our DMs and be disrespectful, please. It's rude. It's very rude. And for you females out there that have been with him, I already know about you, so don't go there with me, please. It's not stuff that we need, both of us in our lives. So yeah, it's hard enough what we're going through for people to be disrespectful and rude.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to, get out there, and I want to get out there, but the radiation took a lot out of me, and I'm just constantly tired. No matter what I do, I gotta take Ritalin to wake myself up. I took some today, but it doesn't last long. It doesn't last long, and I start feeling tired again. And so it's like I got to stay close to home, just in case I need to be here, come back. I don't try to go anywhere far because I don't want to have to drive all the way home or ride all the way home, dealing with pain. And so hopefully within the next couple of weeks, all this shit will go away, and I will be able to get out there and do a little bit more things. I appreciate it, Abraham. I'm trying, man. I'm getting better little by little. So, anyways, thank you. Appreciate it. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here now. So, thank you guys for all the well wishes and prayers and all that stuff like that.
and I want to take this time also to thank everyone who's donated to the GoFundMe account. From the bottom of my heart, it is very much appreciated. He still goes to work when he can, but now that the the disability money ended, he's on FMLA, which means his job is secure. But if he goes to work, or if he doesn't go to work, it doesn't ding him in any way, but he just doesn't get paid. So there was that pressure. Just know that the GoFundMe money puts that pressure off of him to be able, if he doesn't feel well, he can stay home and just try to recover from this radiation treatment that he was on. So I truly appreciate it, and I thank you all.
Yeah, that goes to my boy Jimmy at work and Abel. You know what I mean? Because I was not expecting that. I didn't know nothing about that. They did that on their own. I wasn't even at work. I just had barely got out of the hospital, and I would try to go back to work, and I was only going in for maybe like an hour. Sometimes I would go to work, and they would just send me home because they're like, "Man, you look like shit. Go home." And so, one day I went to work, and one of my other partners was like, "Hey, you see what Jimmy and them did for you?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And he was like, they started a GoFundMe, and I was like, "They did?" He's like, I thought he was bullshitting, and then he's like, "No, look," and he opened it up and he showed me. He goes, Jimmy and Abel started a GoFundMe for you because they know that you can't really work no more, and when you do come to work, you go home because you're in pain, so it's because of them, you know what I mean. So yeah, thank you to Jimmy and Abel for doing that because I wasn't expecting that. Because I work, I mean, I only talk to certain people there. Jimmy and Abel and my boy, the other partner of mine, Pete. I really only talk to certain people there. So I appreciate them doing what they did, but also I appreciate all the dudes that are at work that I don't talk to, all the drivers that are there, because again, I don't talk to people. I go to work and do my job. I'm not there to be buddy with everybody. You know what I mean? So I don't. There's all these drivers that are there. I see them there every day. We're in the same lunchroom together every single day, and I walk right past. I don't talk to them. I don't talk. You know, I don't know their names. I've been there for a couple years now. I've been there for since 2020, 21, I think it is, and don't even know most of their names because I don't talk to them. But yet, they're the ones that did the majority of donations. You know, the guys at my work, and then even people up in the production part, which I don't know them. I don't go into the building. They did a lot of the people in the office up in the corporate office. I mean, the main office. They also did too. I don't even know them. I don't go in the in the main office. So yeah, you know, I appreciate, you know, Jimmy and Abel doing what they did, but also uh, all the guys there that I don't, you know, I don't talk to, you know, and it's not because I'm being a dick about it. I'm just not that way. If I don't know you, I don't know you. I just don't. I'm not out there trying to make friends with everybody. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate all them guys that did what they did. You know, because yeah, she's right. It took a big, it took a big, took a lot of pressure off me. You know what I mean? To if I feel sick, that I can leave work without having to worry about it. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm not worried about that shit. You know, uh, but I'll be on vacation next week. I start my vacation on Sunday, and I go from Sunday to Sunday. So hopefully, after next week, I'll be able to stay at work. You know,
More.
the whole day. You know, every day, my 4 days that I'm supposed to be there, I'll be able to stay at work and do my 12-hour shifts without a problem. That's what I'm hoping to be able to do. But anyways, yeah, thank you to those guys that did that shit for me. And anyways, again, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. But thank you guys for all the well wishes and the prayers and all that stuff like that. And you know, I'll try to get on here more often. But you guys take care.
Have a good night.